Sunday, massive night. You must be looking forward to it as much as anyone else.
I am really looking forward to this game. You know, I think the manager has put a wonderful team spirit in there. I'm really pleased with what he's done. I think he's done one fantastic job. And I've got to say, I fancied him. This is not after the results, because I hate after the result merchants. But I fancied him right from day one, because I think he's just put a good team together. And it's going to be a massive event for the nation.
What do you think's the difference then between this team and what we've seen over the 20, 30, 40 years? They've just not quite got over the line.
Well, I can't really tell you what. I mean, we've got a good crop of young uns coming through, but we've had this before. But then something has spoilt it, like the Wags have been there, or you've had somebody in trouble with booze or breaking curfews, etc. You've had none of that. I think Southgate has put discipline in there in a quiet way, and this is not my words, it's Gary Neville's words. I heard it the other night. He's been humble. You need a leader, and I think he's been a good leader. And I'll look at the team spirit, even for the kids who are not playing. They look excited about it. They're all pleased for one another. I think we've got every chance in this game. I think we nailed on for it.
A lot of us haven't got to see England in a final yet. You did back in '66. Do you see some similarities between this team and that team?
Well, in '66, I'll tell you one of the things that happened. We started off very slowly against Argentina. It was a poor game, and Alf Ramsay was the manager, of course, then. And Ratan, the Argentinian, he was a dirty so-and-so. He putting himself about. He got the red card. He got sent off. But we started off badly. Incidentally, that was a big part of my career, that competition. I had £200 on England at 8-1.
How did you get 8-1?
Well, they weren't fancied that much. You know, it was the World Cup. There was the Brazilians, the Argentinians, etc. But why did I back it? Because one, I'm an Englishman. But just to put it in context, I was on £20 a week, and I put £200 on. So it was 10 weeks' wages. It was a bit of a bet for me in those days. I won £1,600 on it, and that went towards the first shop that I ever bought in Salford. So it was a good leg up on the ladder. And the question was, what do I see between this team and that team? I see some great talent. We had some great forwards, Bobby Charlton, Geoff Hurst, Martin Peters. And I think we've got the same. You know, one or two of the players here has surprised me. I'm not a great Sterling fan, but I think he's had a wonderful competition. I think there is comparisons that you can draw between the two teams. Both teams started off slowly. I mean, we won the first game 1-0, then we only drew against Scotland. We were a bit like that, a bit iffy in the early rounds of the competition in '66, but we came good, and I believe that's what's happening with us now. We murdered Germany, in my opinion, and I don't think the game against Denmark don't do it justice. I think we were well on top of it. 2-1 wasn't enough, in my opinion. I think we've got every chance.
Do you see the similarities between Southgate and Ramsay as well in the way that they've led the team?
Yeah, I think Southgate was a very humble man, but in those days everybody was humble. There was no big heads because you weren't allowed to be. Ramsay was a disciplinarian. He would stand no messing from players. Now I don't know whether Southgate is the same, but he'll do it in his own way, Southgate. But you've got to demand things from your players, and you've got to organise it. And you look at everything. I mean, I think people like Bobby Charlton and Jack Charlton, they didn't need managing those sort of players. This fella's done a great job today. I think we've got, I keep repeating myself because I am convinced that Sunday night we're going to get that trophy.
Convinced enough to have another couple of £100 on it?
Well, I'll tell you this now. Betfred, my company, will lose between 4 to 5 million on Sunday if England win this competition. And I hope I lose 4 to 5 million. Why? Because England owe me nothing. They paid towards my first shop, so they don't owe me anything. Secondly, I think it'll be a great boost for the country after the year that we've had, or the 18 months that we've had with this pandemic. I think it'll be a great booster, and come on England.